So how many clicks to get a score like this? There's two things. If you've played Baldur's Gate for any amount of time, there are two things where I'm betting you spent a lot of time on. The first is you're playing your way through the game, you're having a great time, you've got an amazing build, and you think of some new tactica. Right away you're like, wow, what if I made it to this point with this character class, and I played this type of character? That would be awesome. Let me quickly reset and make a new character. You know how many saved games that I have? It's the saved game library is just absolutely crazy. And that's not to say I don't play through all the time. I do. But sometimes you think, wow, I'd love to try this character class. There's so many options within the game and different ways to tactically approach the story. It feels like infinity. So I'm sure you have lots and lots of characters and new characters. But second to that is sitting there and clicking for that perfect score. Sitting there, no mods. I've got nothing against mods, but we're doing old school, no mods. Sitting there clicking through, and you're like, okay, if I get 90, we're good. Look, I'd like 92, right? But if I get 90, that's good. Maybe 88 if I'm in a rush and I'm going to kind of have a class that doesn't rely primarily on 2 or 3 different stat blocks to really excel. But I'd like 90 or 92. So you're sitting there clicking. How many clicks does it take to get there? And when I talk about clicks, you know what happens. You're sitting there clicking and you're like pausing, right? And you're watching it and you're doing it and you get into that pattern and then you click like 92 and you go past it and it's like 73 is your next click. And you're like, I can't believe that I missed it. But what was interesting was I was going to play through as a shaman and I posted up to the BG archive some Tactica and exploring that character class. And on the second click, I rolled this up and I had to pause for a second and I was like, wow, I think I've gotten a handful, maybe like 3 or 4 94s. I think once I got like a 96 playing a monk and just the D&D universe exploded, the chance that I rolled that only once. So I had to play that through. I just had to play that game through. But how many clicks to get like a 94? I remember years and years ago, a good friend of mine that I listened to, he's like, behind the scenes, there's this system where if you count 1.5 between each click and you click 100 times, you'll get a 98. He had systems for absolutely everything. I tried it and it's like, my man, your system does not work. But it's an interesting aspect of the game and character creation. How many clicks do you think, statistically? Someone analyzed it on the internet and said it would take you about 600, on average, 600 clicks to get to play a 94. I wonder how many clicks for a 96. I wonder how that would work out. Your thoughts on that? How many clicks to get into the high 90s? And when you're playing, for you, what stat block is good? Are you good with 88? Are you good with 90? Are you ready to roll with 92?